Lately, I've been in a huge recovery process. I went for a lower Blepharoplasty, the removal of my eye bags that have been bothering me for more than 10 years. It was a dream to wake up without puffiness and pain. Trying so many natural remedies and never getting actual results had me frustrated and sad. So I decided to go for surgery. Today I will share with you if it was the right decision, how my recovery is actually coming along, and what I've picked up along the journey. I'm 1 month into the recovery process and you can still see the scar tissue here, but it has healed so fantastically, so fast, and the surgery itself was only 50 minutes. It was not painful at all. They gave me this amazing anesthetic, which was not a full anesthetic. It was a mix of certain vitamins and minerals, enzymes. It helped me to not feel nausea after the surgery. I felt so good, so positive. I woke up and I was just in the best mood ever. The third day, when everything kind of left my body, that's when vomiting set in. But the rest was just such an easy and smooth experience. I paid total, I think, $2,500. And the examinations that I needed up front, blood tests and cardiogram, cost me another $100. This was in Mexico. I'm not sure how the prices would be in your country. I did the surgery in Playa del Carmen. It was literally in and out. We came 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We waited for 30 minutes. They had me prepared. At 2 was the surgery. I was out of the hospital by 3:30 or 4. They drove me into my hotel where I stayed one night. I wasn't allowed to eat the entire day until after the surgery. After the surgery, I just felt so thirsty because I also wasn't allowed to drink. So after the surgery, I just had fresh apple juice, fresh coconut water, hydrated myself, and then at night, before going to sleep with the big bandages on, I had a piece of grilled chicken and some potatoes. The worst thing was taking out the stitches. That happened 6 days after the surgery. They took out fed bags, I think each side 10 to 20 gram, which is kind of a lot, I think. When I first started to talk to the esthetician or to the doctor, he was telling me, well, that's actually super easy because all we do is we go from the inside of the eyelid and take out the fed bags. There's no stitches. All we do is a natural stitch that is growing into your skin and we don't have to take it out. And then I thought about it and I was like, I actually feel that I have a lot of sagging skin here under my eyelids. So once I already take out the fed bags, why not tuck that skin? Because that really bothers me. That's why the scar tissue is still visible, still feels kind of thick and unnatural. But 4 weeks into this surgery and I'm really back at sports, feeling normal. I sleep so good. There is no bothering whatsoever. But yes, I want to be really honest with you. The time after taking out the stitches, so after 6 days, because the skin had to grow back to normal and the stitches were, or the scars were kind of pulling down, the eyes never really closed. So it always felt like my eyes were a little bit open and drying out. I worked with eye drops. I had watery eyes. I was wearing sunglasses or tinted glasses the last 4 weeks. I would wear them in the whole day and nighttime when I was going out. I was wearing big glasses when I went to the gym or to some outdoor activities. Simply, I was too afraid that something enters, especially because I live in a jungle climate and in a very dusty environment. So I was super careful and I always took eye drops to kind of wash the eyes out. In the mornings, I would wake up with a lot of crust in the eyes. They told me I'm not allowed to do sports 2 weeks until after the surgery. I must say I went back to light exercise after the first week. When the stitches were out, the next day I was already in the gym, but I really took it easy because I also felt that I was kind of weak, that I was bothered with my eyes, with my vision. It was not that I couldn't see, but it was like, you know, the eyes were so watery and I was so kind of careful. And then with the glasses that I just felt, okay, let's really take it easy. So all I did was go on the mat and do my little floor mat exercises. After 2 weeks, when they also officially allowed me to go back to exercises, that's when again I went back to spinning, also with glasses. I was really taking care of the sweat not dropping into my eyes. Then I also went back to the gym to full exercising. The only thing I really took care of was lifting heavy weights, because I was too afraid that somehow it will affect the healing process of the scars. Because if you lift heavy weights, it's everything, the effort is in your face, right? So I was afraid of that. I did a few things to speed up the healing, which I feel really is important. And once you decide to go for the surgery, I really recommend you to do absolutely the same. Like, take my blueprint and make it yours, because it has been such a game changer for me. Which treatments did I do to speed up the healing? I used my lead mask morning and evening time. I had my lead mask on the entire face, and I was making sure that I turned it on red for the collagen production to really help the scar tissue to build new collagen. I was drinking bone broth like it was my religion. You guys, bone broth really helps with the cartilage, with the scar tissue, so that was a non-negotiable. I drank my collagen every single day and doubled up the portions. Same for my glutathione. Everything that I've been taking is linked for you in the comment section below this video. I started to work with microcurrents, I think day 10 after the surgery. I would be careful if you start working directly on the scar tissue. What I did, I worked on the entire face, and then after 2 weeks of the surgery, I started to particular work in the under eye area with the microcurrent, and then I also used the eye extend from my cleansing device, which really helped to work in the serums into the area of the scars, and that really helped. Also because I had a lot of stagnated lymph and some damaged vessels, this slow, gentle movement and lymphatic drainage helped to take out the stagnated lymph, which was such a game changer. What I also did was a lot of cooling pads, cooling gel masks. You know how much I love my vibration plate. I was stepping back on the vibration plate, I think 2 weeks after the surgery, but very slowly. I turned it on the lower level and then made sure that I also worked the upper body and the arms, and this gentle movement of the vibration also went into my face, and I feel it also helped to take out stagnated lymph, especially in this area. If you're looking into this kind of surgery, please don't listen to what anybody else tells you, like, oh, why would you do this? This is not necessary, this is over-exaggerated. I was suffering from these eye bags 10 years plus. I was always looking tired, or if I had cried my eyes out, people would ask me, hey, what's wrong with you? Why are you so tired? Why do you look so sad? I'm like, oh, that's my natural look, thank you. So I'm just so happy, can't stop looking at my new face. I just love how young and fresh I look. It took an hour, you guys. It was $2,500, totally affordable. The healing process has been so fast. The recovery has been great. I love the process and I love this type of surgery. I'm not a big surgery fan at all. Everything else is natural, but this has bothered me. So if this is bothering you too, go and try all the natural stuff. I've done it all. Salt-free, fruitarian, bone broth, hydration, sauna, non-sauna, you know, you name it. All the supplements, the drainages, the treatments, the facials, I've done it all. But when it doesn't help, I have a free choice to go and do something that makes me genuinely happy, and I will have these results for the next 15, 20, 30 years. So if you feel that this is something for you, I can absolutely recommend it. If you want to chat with me or ask me any questions, please feel free to ask the questions in the comments. I've also shared the entire journey on my Instagram, so you can also look it up there. Wishing you a beautiful time until the next video, leaving you with a lot of blessings from the tropics, and I see you next time.